What's the word? It's your boy Diesel. Today we're going to be going over the new Fat Tone documentary. This is a documentary that I was very excited about, just being from Kansas City, being from the 50s, the same neighborhood as Fat Tone, and just Fat Tone being one of my favorite rappers. I was very excited about this documentary. It seems like everybody was really excited about it when it was announced that it would be coming out. But, just like everybody was excited about it, it seems like a lot of people was disappointed in the outcome. And sad to say, I was disappointed in it too. So today we're going to go over it, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to grade it. And, we're going to just give our opinion. So let's go. So let's get right into it. Everybody seemed to be really disappointed in this documentary. I think a lot of people were mad at the production of the documentary. They felt like it could have been more vibrant. It could have been more cinematic. It could have gave more details on some of the things that Tone talked about in his life, from his music to the shootings to just anything involving Tone, plus the Mac Minister. We wanted to get into that. It was just a lot of stuff that could have been spoken about that I feel like people wanted to hear about that it wasn't touched on in the documentary. One thing that I really didn't like about the documentary is that it was a lot of long interviews. It was more of a podcast feel named documentary, instead of it cutting from scene to scene, from action to action. It was just, we get one guy for 5 minutes, then we get somebody else for 10 minutes. And then Tech Nine, at the end of the documentary is only an hour and 30 minutes long. And Tech Nine is talking the last 30 minutes of the documentary. And half of Tech Nine's interview isn't even really about Fat Tone. It's just about Kansas City and fallen soldiers and stuff. When we came to see a Fat Tone documentary, we wanted to know about It's Real. They touched into a little of that when he got his start with Mr. Stinky and Tech Nine and with the vigilantes and stuff like that. It was a little bit touching on that. But for the most part, it was just Chuck Littlejohn's and some other people's association with Fat Tone instead of just telling a Fat Tone story. And that really wasn't that captive. That wasn't that captivating. So a lot of people left very disappointed. And I was one of the people who left very disappointed. It really just wasn't that good of a watch. A lot of fans were saying it was a hard watch. It was trash. It was garbage. I don't think it was trash. I don't think it was garbage. I think it came from a great place. It just could have been more cinematic, more suspense, more storyline. Like no one even narrated the documentary. Maybe they should have had a narrator in the documentary instead of just going right into the interviews. And just the overall production wasn't that great. It was pretty basic, minimal production. Just get a camera, somebody sit down, get a backdrop, and they just talk about their experience with Fat Tone. Maybe they should have just told the Fat Tone story from all their perspectives, not their experiences with Fat Tone. So overall, this is gas it or pass it. And we gonna have to pass this one, man. This was a hard one for me. Like I said, I'm a very big fan of Fat Tone. I'm a big fan of just anything Kansas City. I would love for it to be a really good watch, but this was just a pass for me. As I said, it just wasn't that cinematic. It wasn't that captivating. I didn't fall in love with it. It didn't leave me wanting more. It was just, a couple people sitting down in front of a camera just talking about Fat Tone and really their association with Fat Tone, which isn't really the Fat Tone story. It's their view of the Fat Tone story through their eyes instead of just telling the story. So we're going to have to pass it, man. It ain't trash. It ain't nothing like that, but it got to go, gang. Maybe regroup, get back to the drawing board. Let's do it again. Let's do it the right way. Get a real production team. Make it a real documentary. Trap Lord Ross, he do 5-hour docs. Getting to the story. So let's get to the story and put it out the right way. And just put it on for the city. Fat Tone is a legend in the city. He's definitely Kansas City Mac Dre. And Big Court, Ice-T, we appreciate y'all putting it on for the city. But let me know what you think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're a new movie review channel. We're going to be reviewing all the new films, podcasts, short films, stuff like that. So just tap in with us. This is DBPCN, DoBetta Podcast Network. I'm Diesel, and we out.